Hi guys, welcome back. Eric's UK here with another vid response. This one to Mark Crew 162. His post from earlier today about cheating in RPGs. I've been quite lucky in that I've only really experienced this twice in all my years. The first was back in the early 90s when the group I was in was playing a lot of second edition AD&D, and we had this guy, only a teenager. He was still in school at the time, and whenever he made a D20 roll, if it was that critical, you know, he really wanted to hit something, he really wanted to pass the skill check, he'd roll the dice, but he'd do it and follow it with his hand, cover it with his hand, and then go, yeah, I've done it, and then pick the dice up. And if anyone ever tried to call him on it, then unfortunately that hand would knock the dice off the table and he'd have to re-roll it. I don't really know, we never really did anything with him. I think we just kind of just kept an eye on him and said, look, you know, if we don't see the dice rolls, we're going to make you re-roll it. And eventually I think he did, but we never really sort of like called him out on it or anything like that. Eventually that particular player left after a couple of years. A very odd situation. There'd been a punch up with his brother across the gaming table, literally. And pretty much after that we never saw either of them again. And we have a player at the moment in our various games down at our club, both for Warhammer and role playing, who I've probably mentioned before as being quite a Twinkie and power gamer sort of guy, and he has been caught on numerous occasions cheating. Whether we're talking here Pathfinder, Magic the Gathering, Warhammer, whatever, there are times when he tries to pull extra bonuses and stuff for his character, but mostly I find he's he's mostly the sort of guy that reads through something, you know, whether it's a paragraph about special ability or whether it's the latest magic card, whatever, and he will read the really good stuff, and he's kind of selective reading was the term I was thinking of, and he'll skim over the negative bit and promptly forget it because he's found this really cool ability or whatever, and the amount of times we've had to catch him on things like that. But most of that cheating came about through Warhammer, and we ended up sitting him down, a couple of us, and saying, look, whether you are or not, people think you are cheating, and you know, don't give people, if you are cheating, then stop it, quite frankly. But if you're not, then don't give people the opportunity to think you are. And after that, it pretty much dropped away. There was a few instances, but I think that's more a case of people crying wolf. They assume he's cheating, therefore that's what they say he's doing. My thoughts on it is, if you've got somebody in your group that's cheating, then it depends on what they're like. I mean, if they're the sort of person you can stop the game for a second and go, hey Bob, you know, come on, enough now, you know, and they'll go, fine, you know, and they'll get on with it, and you can keep an eye on them, then fine. If you've got the sort of person who's going to stand up and then start, you know, I don't know, I don't want to say verbally abusive or anything like that, because there's a big gap between, you know, the sort of person who will just, you know, sorry or whatever, and the sort of person who would get abusive. But people get embarrassed when they're around their friends and they get called out and things like that. My recommendation, if you've got someone you think is cheating, then, you know, make sure they are. Watch them for a couple of sessions or whatever. You know, get the other players to watch them, but don't say anything. And then if you find that that's what they're doing, then talk to them away from the game, away from everybody else. But you know, talk to them and say, look, we've spotted you've been doing this, we've been monitoring you, and it's not on. Stop it. And if they don't stop it, then I think you've got no option but to say, solid, you know, we've given you the opportunity, you wouldn't do it. You know, I hate to say boot people from a group, but you can't have cheaters. That sort of behaviour spoils it for everybody else. Anyway, just my quick little thoughts on that. Until next time, take care, good gaming.